Ho ho home, and merry this cast. I'm your pinch-tastic friend Parn Sunbleeze. And even though 'tis the night before Boxing Day, one of us must stand guard at the Salt Circle at all times. And this year your friend Parns has drawn the shortest of straws. So, sadly, I must stay here and do my duty. But all is not lost. Here's what I think of Santa Claus. A fantastic traditional figure. An important part of my own upbringing and childhood. He brings about much joy to children all around the world. But of course, he is a much more complicated character than that, isn't he? Merry Christmas.
Well, Flimsy, I don't remember how we start these kind of episodes. But it's Christmas Eve here in the Salt Circle and the demons are at bay. And I can see we've got some of our good friends with us. Who's that over there?
It's me, Natalie Blue Manticore.
Oh, hi, Natalie Blue Manticore. Thought you were dead.
Merry Christmas from the afterworld.
Merry Christmas. Are you alone?
No,
Who's
there's
with
people
you?
here.
Who are the people with you? What are their names?
I am also here. I
Oh,
am
hi.
Niall.
Niall
Can't
Balloon.
to be anyone.
Are you Niall Balloon Manticore?
Yes.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
It's asking beef for a passcode, apparently.
All right, let me see what I can do.
It's Christmas Day.
Is it Christmas Day?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, passcode. Here we go.
just cooking up a seagull.
EQ6HJ0. Send that to Stu and see why. I don't know why you would need that, though. It's madness.
Yes, and again, EQ.
Put it in your thing. Capital E,
Yeah.
lowercase q, 6, capital H, capital J, 0. Read that back to me.
E, capital.
Yes.
Q, non-capital.
Yes.
6, number. HJ, capital. 0, capital.
Is that Beef Wellington over there passed out in the corner? What's he doing over there?
He's asleep.
He's asleep. Oh, look over in the corner over there. What's that spider doing?
Commander Spider. He's wearing cheek plumes, maybe.
Yes, and he seems to have laid down his arms for the winter.
Oh,
But,
that's nice.
oh, hold on. Beef seems to be stirring.
Staring what?
Oh no, what are you stirring over there, Beef? Morning. How you doing? Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the world of the living. Oh, what about the other corner over there? Is that Bury the Veil? Oh, it's Beef. He's alive. Brilliant. Struggling with the audio. Okay, they're in his attic.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
Hello.
Beef.
I've got this. I'm just testing this new equipment. I'm just testing it out. Is it okay?
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's so far so good.
Very good.
So
Excellent.
far so good. Yeah, how you diddling?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yep.
Beef Wellington.
Yeah, I've just woke up. I'm a little bit puffy, but yeah.
I can see.
I'm all right, thanks.
All right. Well, we'll give you some Botox and see what happens. What about over in the other corner though? What's that cat doing? Bury the Veil.
Something about
Cat.
governance.
Yeah, she seems to have declared an extreme holiday on counter-terrorism.
Excellent. Are we supposed to be able to see something?
Yeah, well, you can see in the corner of the room over there, you got little King KV and his mice feasting on suckling pigs.
Oh, yeah.
And in the final corner, HAMM is organising all the words in his books into alphabetical order. But let's not dally on this anymore. How's everyone feeling on this bright Christmas Eve / morning?
Good.
Merry and bright.
Brilliant.
Also,
Beef, have you brought some
Probably.
Christmas cheer?
yeah. I'm brimming over with cheer. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And how about Niall Balloon Manticore, a new character who's never appeared on the show before, and Dog Balloon Manticore?
So much cheer.
Brilliant.
more here.
What? Hold
This is
on.
gonna be the most
Who's
cheerful episode ever.
Who's coming over the horizon over there? Is that Jacques Derrida on a flying hamster? What's he doing? Never seen
It
him
looks
before.
like- What is he wearing, Natalie?
A tiny hat.
And now tell what's going on there.
That's it, tiny hat. Cowboy hat.
Nice.
Beef, what's he doing here? Can you just check with Jack and see what he's playing at?
What are you doing?
I am here looking for Oh, you did not think I could speak? Human? Puny human? I'm here looking for my vampire son. Have you seen him?
No, there's no one here. No, sorry, mate.
Oh, well, to love wisdom is to live according to his dictates. A life of simplicity, independence, and magnanimity. Trust Christmas is a time for love. Will you welcome me into your group?
Not this time of year.
Oh, all right, I'll wait over there.
All right, well, so this episode's all about Santa Claus, also known as Kris Kringle. Why don't we all tag team his biography?
Let's do it.
I hope everyone here can read, making any assumptions. Santa Claus, known as Kris Kringle and Sinterklaas, is a legendary figure who brings joy and presents to children around the world on Christmas Eve. He lives in North Pole with his wife, Mrs. Claus, and a whole bunch of elves. I nominate Natalie for the next paragraph.
Oh, I wasn't reading along. What was...
Paragraph 2, you can just, by sheer process of logic and deduction, it's the second paragraph.
Santa is known for his jolly nature and love of cookies, especially those baked by Marge Simpson. In fact, he often makes stops at the Simpson household to snack on her delicious creations and catch up with the family.
Who are you nominating for the next paragraph?
Nathan.
That is me, Flimsy. Whatever my name is. Despite his age, Santa is still in great shape thanks to his rigorous exercise routine, which includes lifting barrels of toy-making materials and practicing his ho-ho-ho laugh. He also enjoys participating in the annual NORAD Tracks Santa program, where he flies around the world in his sleigh, pulled by his trusty reindeer, including Rudolph with his shiny red nose. I nominate Beef.
Santa's mission is to spread joy and cheer to all, and he takes his job very seriously. He works tirelessly year-round to make sure every child has a special gift on Christmas morning. So if you've been naughty, be sure to shape up and make it on the nice list, or you might just end up with a lump of coal in your stocking.
I nominate Niall, Bully Manticore, to read the first paragraph again.
Santa Claus, also known as Kris Kringle, St. Nicholas, and Sinterklaas, is a legendary figure who brings joy and presents to children around the world on Christmas Eve. He lives in the North Pole with his wife, Mrs. Claus, and a team of elves who help him make and deliver toys to all the good boys and girls.
Brilliant. Brilliant reading, everyone. Let's move on.
Job.
Clip 1.
I would just like to say that was factually inaccurate, and I don't think he's ever met Marge Simpson or eaten a cookie of hers. Chatbot doesn't lie.
Chatbot does not lie. That's what I've heard.
The Claus cast will continue after a special holiday message from a friend of the Springfield cast.
Guys, it's been quite a little while since I saw you, since I became Space Jesus, and I like to say things are going real well up here in my Jesus Space Weatherspoons. So imagine my surprise when I was reborn as the ghost of Richard Maydilly. And now I'm here on the island to wish you a big hug and Christmas cheer for everyone. And I'll see you in space, in a spaceship, 'cause I'm Jesus. And it's my birthday. And it's my birthday.
We now return to our regularly scheduled Poochie.
1. Santa lies on the ground, his sled is on fire, and presents are scurred and scattered willy-nilly. We see a shot of young Abe and young Burns, with the reindeers chewing free of the reins and run for the hills. Donder, Blitzen, he shouts as he sits up dazed and scoffed. Young Burns gets his gun. He's German, that's good eating, he says, and aims the gun at Santa Claus's noggin. Abe knocks the gun from his hands. You useless waste of socks. That ain't no kraut. We don't want to shoot Santa Claus. The two youngsters are in vests and ragged pants. Abe is shoeless. I repeat, shoeless. They help Santa Claus to his feet. He wipes his jacket and says, "Oh, I guess I must have run into a sudden storm." And young Ben says, yes, everything happens to you.
Exactly. I'd like to apologise on behalf of The Simpsons for no Santa Claus appearances prior to season 17.
Well, what do you lot have to say about that brilliant clip?
Who's up
That
first?
he has no shoes.
No shoes.
No shoes.
Abe has no shoes. Santa has his regular boots on.
Is no
But
shoes
Abe-
a thing with Christmas, like Die Hard?
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
so. That's a good one. And they're actually wearing the vest like Die Hard, but I don't know if it's a Die Hard reference. That's good.
true. I didn't notice that. That's
Beef.
probably accurate.
What did you make of those shenanigans, Beef?
Well, see, this is where I struggle with The Simpsons, because I like logic and consistency in my programming. So
You're in the wrong place.
we are to believe that this is set when Abe and Grandpa were in the Second World War, right? And they were, they meet the actual. This is the actual Santa Claus they meet. But then there are other episodes of The Simpsons where it's apparent that Santa Claus is, he's a fictional character and he doesn't exist. So
it's also
what's going on? Whose perspective is this? I don't know. So I struggled with the whole thing. I disengaged with it, to be honest with you.
Disengaged. One says like, they say, is that I can't go for this. No.
Yeah, exactly. I can't go for that. Yeah, that's what I said to myself.
Yeah, but Niall, Balloon Manticore, what did you make of that?
I had no issues with it.
Very good. Nathan, what about you?
I again apologise for its late placement. There's a thing with Grandpa and Abe where it's never really specified which war they're in. It's not the same as this Margin Homer's high school times changing. So this one is World War II, but they've also been in Vietnam, which Skinner's also been in. But I like that Burns was going to shoot him on sight. I wonder what would have happened if he had shot him in the head. I don't think it would have done anything, to be honest.
What happens if you shoot a fictional character in the head?
It depends if they are voiced by Maggie Roswell or not.
A good point. And how about NBM over there? What do you reckon?
For me, we're both NBM.
I know. NBM 1 or 2. I'm not gonna prioritize.
It was fine. It's like Santa in the same realm as, like, how many fingers did he have? I didn't notice, actually, because if he's in the same realm as God, he could be like, God has 5 fingers, doesn't he?
So God has the right number of fingers in The Simpsons, is that right?
Yeah,
that is true, but I've been looking at this. Santa has 4. But
so does that make him a Simpsons character and not an otherworldly being?
But yeah, I thought that as well, because he hasn't appeared up until this point, and this is like a Christmas creative horror, basically. So it's kind of still up in the air. He's never appeared in the actual Simpsons Springfield.
So this actually isn't canon then. This is as a Treehouse of Horror episode, doesn't have long-term ramifications on The Simpsons. So this is a standalone.
I would concur with that. Yes, I would.
In that
case, yeah.
That's
fine then.
So the whole thing is basically Grandpa's telling this story as a flashback within a Treehouse of Horror segment. So within a fictional.
Could this be like a dementia, like dreamscape from a dying old man?
I think that was sort of the point of him, like the flashback, and then Bart and Lisa are like looking at him like he's insane, and then Santa actually turns up. So it's that.
Do they interact with him though?
Yes,
but
later on, and but it's still within the realm of it being, like Beef said, like a standalone Trace of Horror-ish segment.
A what if, an imaginary story.
Yes, whereas God and Christ both just completely exist. They didn't want to push the boat out too far with Santa.
Good too. Dramatic angle. Sleigh is still on fire. My sleigh, says Santa Claus. Well, you get out and running.
Show everybody your notes.
No.
So they know what we're working with every week.
Well, get up and running, or my name. We'll get it up and running, yeah. My name ain't young Grandpa Simpson. He thumbs his chest. Cut to stirring music. Fast sleigh repair with the dolly bird painted on the side. Woo woo. Mrs. Claus in naughty classic 50 pose. And upbeat music as they dance together on the hot desert island. And then Monty Burns cuts in. I think it is a reference possibly to South Pacific. The sunset is beautiful. Santa is in his new sleigh. He is about to take off and bring joy to the boys and girls of the world when young Burns pops up and bonks him on the head with a coconut. Oh, he says as he falls to the floor. Sorry, Chuckles. Change of plan, says the rotten young Monty Burns. Well. Nathan, what about that?
Exactly. I like the dancing. It's not funny. No. The only thing that made me laugh was Burns hitting with a coconut and him saying "damn it." But the whole dance sequence, they did this. It's basically the same dance with the same song with Burns and Grandpa and Margie's mum, like earlier on. So I don't know if they're just referencing themselves, but it doesn't seem likely. We're in that point of The Simpsons where they've forgotten to watch the first 10 seasons for information about the characters. Edna. Unfortunately, this is what we've got to work with this week for Santa.
Brilliant.
He appeared in this sort of nonsensical. It's not really about him. It's about Burns and Grandpa's war stories that they like to tell.
Poor choice then, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was poor choice
for Christmas
by
episode.
me. Yeah.
What does Niall Balloon Manticore think of this clip?
Did they fix the original sleigh that was on fire, or did they build him a new one?
Built him a new one that seemed to be put together from their own plane and bits of his sleigh.
Interesting.
It's delightful.
Which seems
Yeah.
it is practical, but it's weird that's the logical line in this. Like they have to rebuild the sleigh.
Isn't
Like
the sleigh
that's what I would assume as well, that it would be a magic sleigh that wouldn't need repair.
Oh, he's
But
pretty
that's where
knackered.
the
He was on
logical-
fire. All the reindeers
Well,
had
yeah.
run away as well, so it was never explained how they found those. What do you reckon, Beef, to that? This unfolding of the narrative.
Yeah. I watched this clip. I mean, I feel like I'm being overly negative because it's a Simpsons podcast. We all like Simpsons, don't we? But at this
I'm ambivalent.
point,
Ambivalent.
it's just where's the jokes? Where's the chuckles? Do you know what I mean? It's just a bunch of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
I sat there stony faced, you know. Even the coconut bonk, yeah.
Wasn't
You
even
know,
a funny noise, was it?
No, didn't even have a little sound. They get a bonk, yeah.
Bonk.
The guy,
No.
the guy doing the voice of Santa, he turned in a good performance. That was my only takeaway, but it wasn't, you know.
Was it Azaria?
It is his area, and
Oh,
we're
well,
all
yeah.
just told that
He's a
playing
pro,
like
yeah.
Sam.
He's a pro. He probably did an Indian Santa first, and then they made him do a white Santa.
I mean, am I gripped? Do I want to know how this ends? Would I sit there? I'd probably flick the channel halfway through and not. Anyway, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
This is
Stellar.
it's a bit of it's a twist. The twist setup, isn't it? Really, this little bit at the beginning. It's not the main thrust of the story. But what did Natalie Balloon Manticore think of this clip?
I had one overarching feeling coming from this clip, and it was like a homoeroticism kind of vibe, like just very much boys enjoying boys' company.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
And there is nothing wrong with that at all. But I
agree
thought canonically that Burns and Abe were straight. So just a bit of interest. Did
The
things
desert-
happen in the war?
Those wonderful South Sea Islands will do strange things to a man.
It's Christmas.
What happens on Tahiti?
Exactly. I agree that there is that's sort of what I meant about the dancing. Like the dancing last time was with Margie's mum, and this time they're doing the exact same dance with Santa. And it's
all a bit shining, isn't it?
To quote drag queen Trinity the Tuck, where are the jokes? And to quote Beef Wellington, where are the jokes?
Yeah.
Flipping the channel.
Just give me a gag. Just want a gag.
It's already on QVC at this point, buying some socks. Clip 3. Young Burns is being tied up by Abe in a Christmas. Young Burns is being tied up by Abe in a Christmas sweater. He is knelt on the ground, and Santa is backing his hastily made sled. Thanks for everything, he winks at his saviour Abe. Now I'm off. Be back in a few days to take you home. He whips his reindeers. They fly off into the sky.
Wow.
Beef, has this turned for you now? Is this gripping?
I mean, home. Was that an attempt at a joke?
Home. That was the
home.
gag. That was the one gag.
Is that what we get?
That's a room of 20 professional writers.
Yeah, the finest minds in Hollywood, and that's the one that made the cut. Yeah, at least it's something. Yeah, I enjoyed the animation of the sleigh taking off. Strangely, that was what stuck with me. Yeah.
Nice angle, yeah. Nice,
beautiful,
angle.
nice little. The way they shot that was good. And home. But it's slim pickings in it.
What does
a meager catch.
What does Dog Balloon Manticore think?
Not much. There's nothing in this head. Empty.
Doesn't even do like a dog voice. Doesn't talk or out.
No.
every other animal that we've ever met at least does a voice. Not this one though.
What do you think his voice would be?
I think you made the right choice for him to not talk at all. It's digging a hole for yourself. What do you think of clip 3?
Me.
How has it been received in the Balloon Manticore household?
I mean, it was a clip, definitely, and then it was it had. I mean, the where did he get that Christmas jumper for a straight jacket?
I thought that too.
Right.
What?
Was
the
it-
sled?
The sled was on fire, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
But-
the sled was on fire. So did he even have presents to or was he going back to the North Pole to get more presents to then go?
He's got
magic.
Yeah, he's got a backup
There's-
presence, hasn't he? Definitely.
There's lots of questions.
I would say that the sleigh was flammable, but the gifts were not.
Flame
What, the
retardant gifts.
Yes.
But
exactly.
they did put that same magic onto the sleigh that he uses to travel,
No, and by there you mean himself.
and his elves.
The
I don't think the elves hold much clout, to be honest.
Maybe the elves wanted him to set on fire.
Yeah, I think
some of them.
the elves are probably uprising at this point. I think
Do you think the
reindeer-
elves have unionized?
I think they're not far off.
we should have. This is all in all a very disappointing podcast so far. But what? So
Merry
the
Christmas.
The sled is not flame retardant, and the interior of the presents we know from the multiple house fires is not flame retardant, but the wrapping is flame retardant. Brilliant.
I don't remember him doing any rapping.
No. What about that animal cruelty? Would that fly now? What was this season 17? So that was 2007. Can you still show humans whipping animals for fun?
It's not really for fun.
For business, then? Does that make it better?
Don't they still just do that in real life anyway?
Think so.
Yeah. I'm not going to get caught up on the animal rights of animated reindeer.
Wow.
That whole frame.
That's where you and I differ.
Does he actually whip them, or does he yank the reins a bit? Is there
semantics, surely?
Right, yeah.
Semantics.
No. You say that, but there's a world of difference. Whipping, that's a violent act. No, a gentle, oi, that's acceptable. Yeah.
It's a reminder.
I wouldn't do it. But,
I wouldn't. No, I've got my reindeers. I'd have them trained, voice trained. Come on, lads, let's go. Don't need to.
They are cute. I will point out that I've cut out like 3 minutes. This entire segment's about 7 minutes long, and this is what I've left in is what I would regard the best of it. Like I've cut out a lot of. There was a whole thing about them. Burns flew off in the sleigh. So Grandpa chased him on a reindeer, and they had like a Spitfire-style plane fight in the sky, but between a reindeer and a sleigh. And then Grandpa won and brought him back. And then they couldn't find Rudolph or another reindeer, and they'd both been eaten by snakes.
That bit's funny.
So the sleigh can fly without a reindeer?
The reindeer can fly. He could have just got on the back of one of the reindeers and left, is what that implies.
Yeah.
But
they
then
could have all got on reindeers and all got home safely as well.
Yeah. So yeah, logic is not our friend this week, as it isn't most weeks.
Oh well, clip 4. This is where the real story starts. Old Gramps and Lisa and Bart are at the table with 3 cups of steaming cocoa. Abe hears someone coming down the chimney. So early, I ask. It's Santa, says Grandpa. I've got an old score to settle as he shatters a candy cane, rendering it sharp as heck. Cut to him in the next room with old-timey music on the radio. Something's happening between here as well, right? Sticking on the mantelpiece is a stocking filled with goodies. We zoom in on Grandpa's stocking and there's an old watch in it. Rusty old timepiece that Abe pulls out. Santa must have left it for you, says Lisa. He shakes his head. Cyrus, I miss you every day. He misses you too, comes a voice from an Indian with just an Indian tinge in it. Oh, what? says Grandpa. Your brother didn't die in the war, Abe. He crashed in Tahiti and he liked it so much he never left. Santa is pemming and scamming all over the place. I'll take you to him if you want. Puts his hands on the shoulder of Santa and says, we'll be back for the Tournament of Roses parade. Probably not. Good. I hate that crap. Me too. Still no laughs. Right, Beef?
Oh, they're testing me with this. What is this? There wasn't even a home in that, was there? Where was the attempt at a joke?
There was nothing.
Was the humour from the will we be back for the Tournament of Roses? Probably not. Good. I hate that crap. Was that the joke in that scene?
What is the just for context? What's the Tournament of Roses? Sorry, Nathan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I have no idea what that was.
I also have to ask that question. Let's ask Google.
Here we go. Zaz, is when Santa's in the room talking, do we know for sure that Lisa and Bart are interacting with him?
Yes, they do see him. They acknowledge him, I believe. They don't speak directly to him, but they do acknowledge that he is there.
Niall, Bully Manticore, is this giving you belly laughs, this scene? Are you...
Not quite.
Oh, well. What about Natalie? What's this scene doing for you?
If you replaced Santa with just anyone else, would the scene be any different? Is my question. So we've made like this candy cane becomes like a shank.
Yes.
We're just forcing Christmas onto just a random scene just because it needs to tick a box? Is this a tick box exercise?
It's shoehorned in, isn't it? Really, to be honest. Yeah.
I feel like
what's the old score that he has to settle?
Oh, Santa left him on the island. Santa didn't come back for him when he said,
"I'll take you home."
I'll take you home. It was a lie.
He refused. He just
He
didn't
never
come back.
took him home.
Tournament of Roses is also known as the Rose Parade. Is an annual parade that is followed by the Rose Bowl game, held mostly along Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena in the Los Angeles metropolitan area on New Year's Day.
Brilliant. That's definitely that's the joke.
So
That's
it's
the
not
joke.
even held Christmas Day. So
Yeah.
is he saying it's going to take 5 days?
Apparently, and again, like we don't know how quickly.
The war.
So is this set on Christmas Day, or is it are we talking about the travel time to Tahiti and back? But if it's Santa, he can just, that does not a factor, is it?
Blink of an eye. Isn't
What's
it?
going on?
Yeah, I don't know when this is throwing a whole can of worms in. I thought this was just explicitly set on Christmas Day, but maybe it is not. And yeah, we don't know the speed or time. Can he teleport, or is he flying him to Tahiti? And like, will it take the length of how long it would fly in a plane?
I can answer this question from www.funkidslive.com. Santa's sleigh is the fastest vehicle ever. On Christmas Eve, Santa has to travel around the world to deliver presents to all children on the nice list. There are about 2.5 billion children in the world. So Santa's sleigh has to move at a speed of 1,800 miles per second.
Brilliant.
Right.
Link's
So he
going to
would be
cut
the-
out in like 20 seconds. I'm going to send you all a new one. Don't run away.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just sit here for the next 15 seconds until it boots us off.
Stare at each other. Who
I
gets a comfortable pair first?
screaming, I know that you're dreaming of me.
Yeah.
Have the Balloon Manticores ever seen the movie Carry On Screaming?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Man, it's funny. Good. It's a Carry On film, but it's a horror film.
And you would recommend?
I would. No, I used to have it on video in the old days, but I haven't watched it for many years. I'm going to watch it tonight.
How many Santas out of 10?
How many? Like 9. Probably.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a lot of
It's
Santas.
up there with Psychomania.
Better than this. Better than these clips.
A lot better than this. This is very poor. This is, but we're trying our best with the second-rate material the Simpsons have given us. But we'll do what we can.
No, it is poor though.
And we're back.
Well-
I'm enjoying it. I think it was designed not to really disrupt us too much at Christmas. Just keep us on a nice even keel. Clip 5, the final clip. Abe, Santa, and Cyrus are on a beach, I guess, in Tahiti. They are surrounded by Tahitians, and Santa is in the Santa of the beach gear, a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses, but he kept the hat. This one thing is still bugging me. Why didn't you come back to pick me up? As Abe says, they are drinking fancy cocktails. I kept putting it off, and then I was too embarrassed. Cyrus says in a posh voice, sorry, I didn't call, Abe. I was too busy with my 15 native wives. All the ladies giggle, and I ask, is that still okay?
Well, it's not, but it's very Mordcast, isn't it?
It's very Mordcast. But Natalie, what do you think about that scene? Has it turned a corner?
Shockingly, no. The questions that it brings to mind is, so does Santa just left Abe?
Oh yeah.
Because he had anxiety? Is that just that's the actual answer?
Apparently.
Well, he didn't say. He just said he kept forgetting, kept putting it off. Then he was too embarrassed. Yeah, like when you have to drop like a card off at your next door neighbours, and it's already been like 6 weeks.
It's very morally unreliable for Santa Claus.
This
This whole story is like 7 minutes long, and it's like it goes through 3 periods of time, 3 different places. It has like a dance montage. It has a fight scene.
Everything, hasn't it?
Like it just didn't have time for jokes.
Beef, what about this? Has it reignited your faith in the Simpsons?
I mean, what is it? I don't know what it is. The ho ho ho. You know, the more you say ho ho home, it's growing on me. That, you know.
Everything else
It's
pales
a
into
clever little lad,
insignificance.
Yeah, but this last bit though, I mean, I don't know. I presume Cyrus is Abe's brother. Is that right?
Apparently, yeah. Only ever seen here though.
Right. So the payoff is basically they're sat on the beach. Someone's got 15 wives. Is it Santa or Cyrus?
Cyrus has 15 native wives.
Right. Do we see them?
They're sort of hovering around him, yeah. Tastelessly.
They're all giggling in a very non-PC way.
Yeah, scantily clad. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't know. No,
This is 2007.
it's not. It doesn't scream Christmas.
No, it doesn't. It's not 1991 when that stuff was.
No,
rife.
And this is
yeah.
the deeper issue.
How long Cyrus?
Not the best. Not the best story, obviously.
No, and weirdly, this is it for Santa. Like, he's in one more clip in like season 30 or something where Maggie has a Christmas dream and Elf on a Shelf tries to kill her, and Santa says he'll protect her, but then the Elf on a Shelf pulls out a gun, so Santa flees. So he essentially does the same thing again, and they're the only two times he's ever shown up. So Santa is a coward within this Simpsons universe.
An unreliable coward, yes.
Yeah, and he has not delivered a single gift to anybody.
Or
What?
joke.
Oh, joke.
Or
yeah.
Ho, 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 Natalie.
It's true. He's delivered one joke.
What does Niall the Manticore make of this madness?
Cyrus seems like a bit of a dick.
He does.
He's been there like 60 years. He couldn't bring or send a letter.
Yeah.
And also,
And
those wives are 60.
Or one of his wives. Has he had the same 15 wives all the time?
Well, they're clearly not his age. So he's saying, I think he's saying he has 15 current native wives.
We probably
But he-
shouldn't dig into this too much, to be honest.
We've
How
been
many
busy
of
for
the
60
Hippies he
years.
How do you feel about the name Cyrus? It's a strange. Yeah, is that a biblical name? Where does that come from? It's a strange because you got Abraham.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
quite good.
What's the etymology? I'm not sure. I'm a fan. I don't know.
It's a Persian name meaning sun, which is very popular in the Iranian community, but doesn't.
Interesting.
But Cyrus Simpson, is this a name he took on at some point? Because you can't imagine at any point the great grandfather of Bart Simpson calling his son Cyrus and Abraham.
Well, his
yes.
name is Orville.
Okay.
So maybe there's a whack in Homer, Herbert.
They're all normal American names before Cyrus. Yeah.
Maybe that was a clue for us, the audience, that it wasn't a real story.
Simpsons
Yeah, that
Wiki
was-
says, based on his age, he is 1 year older than Abe. Based on his age,
Just based on his age.
which is a good thing to base comparisons of how old people are. But I'm not sure how they would have known that.
Would you like to see more of Cyrus based on this story? Do you think he brought anything to the table?
Only
No.
confusion, really, as to why he was so posh and why he looks
Underwritten,
nothing like.
yeah.
I would, given the choice, I'd bring Cyrus back over Santa.
Are you sure he
Like-
didn't appear in any other episodes?
Cyrus,
Yeah.
you tell me, and you're on the wiki.
I said wives, not girlfriends. No. So,
Oh, yeah. I cut out a lot of tat. And believe me, this is the best of the best.
The Claus cast will continue after a special holiday message from a friend of the Springfield cast.
Hello. Hello, Dark Zaz here, or Doppel Zaz. I just wanted to take time out of whatever evil shenanigans I'm up to now to wish you all a bad Christmas. Ha 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 ha. But no, seriously, I hope you all have a bad Christmas.
We now return to our regularly scheduled disco stew.
Well, let's take this ho ho home and move on, and move on to the bonus stuff that you gave us. So there's a little girl still on stage dressed as a badly rendered Santa beard and dress. That's German. Finnish Weihnachten. That's German for Merry Christmas. It's not. In the school gym, Germany, in Germany, Santa's servant Rotrecht gives presents to the good children and whipping rods to the parents of bad ones. And then I think, is it Ralph or Martin says, Meri Kurimatsu. That's not how they say Christmas in Japan either. I'm a Hochiashi, a Japanese priest who acts like Santa Claus. I have eyes in the back of my head, so children better behave when I'm nearby. He turns and the eyes flap out from the back of his head, and then Lisa turns up in full Tiki Monster stuff with fire.
Yeah, that was the first. Given that Santa has no presence within The Simpsons, the very first scene of The Simpsons is 3 children talking about different versions of Santa Claus.
Oh, is that like season 1, episode 1, pilot?
Scene 1.
Oof. What about that? Balloon manticores and beefs.
Amazing. Shocking.
What did you make of that information, beef? Was it mind blowing?
That caught me off guard. Yeah, I suppose this is more like it. It's got the warmth, the fuzziness. The animation style's softer, so straight away I'm on board with this. My only, again, as I said earlier on, logic, or not logic, consistency, realism. And I always had a problem with this, even back in the 90s when I first saw it, is the fire.
The fire.
Juggling fire, that would never be allowed. Yeah, so that they went too far with that. But the rest of it was a delight, yeah. Although I understand you were saying the Japanese pronunciation was a bit off.
Well, I think he said kurimatsu, but the Japanese would say kurismasu, like Christmas.
Right.
But you know what?
Oh, so it works. I thought he was just saying Christmas in like a Japanese accent, but that's just the word.
No, they've done their research, and apparently the Rosewater to whoever it is a German thing, although I've never come across him before, and he gives whipping rods to the parents of bad children.
Wonderful.
I actually know. I've got 2 Hungarian friends, and they actually do. This happens. They do get whipping rods if they're naughty.
It's bad time, isn't it? If you wake up and all this in your stocking is a whipping rod, a used whipping rod with blood caked all over it.
That's like now. Still now they get a whipping rod.
Yeah, they tend to get like some chocolate, and then they also always get a whipping rod. It's more like a joke these days. Well, they couldn't, when they were trying to explain what it was to me, they couldn't understand what they were like. I can't think of the word, so they were googling the word in Hungarian, and they went, "Yeah, this word." I went, "Oh, like a switch, like you get a switch."
Go cut me a switch. I think that is good. I like that Beef said that fire would have been an issue with Lisa, not that she is a almost completely nude 8-year-old, which always threw me off. Mm-hmm. They just had that very weird thing to open with.
It's out of the stall, really, isn't it? But to think that only 17 years later, they spent 7 minutes on a man bonking Santa Claus on the head with a coconut.
Exactly. They just had too much time.
But what this does highlight. Go ahead, that's what you're saying.
I believe that was the end of the sentence.
What this does highlight is the wacky traditions around the world. What about you lot? Do you got any wacky traditions that you like for Christmas?
I think my Christmas is very generic.
Oh, ho, ho, and a generic New Year. What about over there in Stockport for Beef? We must have some wacky stuff going on over there.
You'd think, no. Well, I mean, I was born and raised in Wigan, Brandon, so I carried those traditions with me.
You got dressed up on Boxing Night.
Oh, yeah, having a mad one. Yeah, down Kingy, yeah.
A gaggle of saddles.
I suppose that's I'll be down the Peel Centre. It's very generic. Church of England Christmas. Yeah.
COAC.
A roast bird and some spuds. Maybe. Yeah.
KFC.
Nothing to. What about you? You must have picked up some Japanese traditions that maybe you could share with the rest of us.
They don't have it. My first year here, I had to go to work on Christmas Day, and I thought, it's Christmas. No one will show up. They all showed up like it was a normal day. It's like they'd never even heard of the baby Jesus. But they do have a special KFC menu that you can, if you order a week before, you can have chicken. KFC chicken on Christmas Day if you want.
Can you go on the day?
It's sold out.
In this clip, just to get back to the clip then, so Ralph was saying, I am this, invented this Japanese Christmas character.
Never heard of it.
Nonsense.
Never heard of it. I think it's probably true. He's probably an obscure one. I was going to look it up, but never heard of it. They don't do anything like that. New Year's the big one over here. They go to the shrine and it's beautiful, and you get some. But it's not wacky. It's not as wacky as you'd expect, to be honest. What about you, Niall? Balloon Manticore? Anything wacky in the traditions of your side of the Balloon Manticore family?
Don't think so.
He's from Yorkshire, so we. Is there anything different? You would never. Did you actually do dressing up over at Boxing Day? Is that actually just a Wigan thing?
I don't know if it's just a Wigan thing. I never did it.
I think it might just be a Wigan thing.
Yeah, I think there
was a thing.
Yeah, but we did fancy dress. It had to be fancy dress.
Yeah, no, we can be asked for that.
Over there in Yorkshire, it's just a proper meat and potatoes Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
All getting Yorkshire pudding and sail down the Humber or whatever river you've got up there. In the German version of the Simpsons TV show, the family dog is actually called Knecht Ruprecht rather than Santa's Little Helper, which is nice.
Nice.
Last little clip. I'm not going to go through all the bonus ones, but Barney is kind of drunk. The kind of drunk he only got in season 1. And he comes in, stumbles into the bar, and Homer says, "Crazy get up, Barn." And I thought Barney really did disappear in the later seasons, didn't he? I got me a part-time job working as Santa down the mall. His beard's all hanging off and stuff. "Can I do that?" says Homer. "They're pretty burp selective country room of Santas. One is a man, one is a woman, and one is an Asian." I wondered, is that the joke about them being selective, that like Police Academy 2, they'll take anyone? Can't do that. Is that dodgy 90s humor, or is it just a coincidence? Anyway, we see a room full of Santas all going, "Hooray." No, they don't. They go, "Ho, ho, ho." That's what they're saying. What about that?
Ho, ho, home. Yeah. No,
What were you saying? What was your read on the Asian man in the classroom? Were you trying to say they were you reading some sort of racism into that, or?
Yeah, I am. Basically, what I'm saying is
they'll take anyone, even this guy.
Exactly. Well, they're basically saying not like middle-aged fat white guys, I guess, was the joke. Maybe. Wow. But
I thought the joke was that less so like that they would take anybody, more that all these people were so desperate for money they would be Santa despite not having the qualities of looking like Santa.
Oh, so you saw it more of as a liberation for the disenfranchised.
Yes, exactly.
Very good.
It is Christmas.
What about the NBMs over there? What did you make of this?
It was just I like the animation style better when it's in the early ones. I think it's more like
shoddy.
Just kind of yeah. I just like it's just nice, and obviously you've got like the drunk Barney being an actual drunk, because you could do that back then. Show someone inebriated playing Santa. But I hate to think of the children who had to deal with that.
And somebody think of the children.
No, would you?
I was a child then. I was 16. I was 16 when Simpsons 1 came on. I don't remember seeing that though.
So were you saying that they've basically phased out Barney Gumble because you can't show drunkenness on television anymore? Is that what's happened? Or
I think they phased him out early on when they realised that Homer and Barney thing wasn't going to be as fun as Fred and Barney, and then they kind of got rid of Barney altogether. And then the drunk thing became less acceptable, so they sobered him up, and he was sober right for a few seasons. Is that right?
Yeah. I think Barney was supposed to be Homer's best friend, and then they just sort of Mo was kind of funnier, and the more you kind of look at Barney, the sadder he is, so you don't want to spend too much time with him because he's a mess. So yeah, he never really got a full episode, and then they made him sober, and that's when he was less funny, and then they just sort of forgot about that again, and then just a couple of years later just made him a drunk again. So he's more of like a C-lister than being Homer's best friend. He's definitely like, they don't even bother showing him with like, they just use Lenny and Carl or Mo, and Barney will be slumped around somewhere. There was the thing that they were gonna Who Shot Mr. Burns, instead of it being Maggie, there was one point it was gonna have been Barney, and he was just going to actually go to prison. But they didn't do that.
That's funny. They didn't really flesh out Barney's character. That's a sad loss, really.
Don't cry for me, I'm already dead.
A funeral. So that's all the clips. Let's have a look at some Santa Christmas Simpsons art, and let's get your artistic feedback on all this stuff. You're all professional artists, I believe. So let me ask you, what do you make of this from Not On My Watch? It's who would like to describe it?
I'll describe it.
Please do.
Yes.
It's the classic Homer strangling his son, except he's dressed as Santa and Bart is green, and it says, "Why are you little?" Like a Christmas card theme.
Yeah, he's also pantsless.
He's pantsless. He's pantsless, and he's green, and his eyes are yellow and red.
He's supposed to be the Grinch.
Well, that's what I thought at first, but maybe. I think that's the only logical explanation.
Is the Grinch known for not wearing pants?
Yes, actually he is. Yeah,
that's his thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I did not know that about the Grinch.
Yeah, that's one of the things. He doesn't wear pants.
No pants, no Christmas.
What's the Wellington take on this?
Well, yeah, the thing that jumps out straight away is the fact that he's not got any pants on. But it's weird because does the Grinch wear a jacket? I don't know, like kind of like Donald Duck. Does he wear like clothes on his upper torso but then no pants?
Christmas Grinch is all dressed as Santa, but I don't know if he's. I don't know what the normal Grinch.
Maybe. The Grinch has got fluffy fingers. Maybe they should have tried to make him a bit fuzzy around the edges to try and convey that. Yeah,
try and sell it more.
Grinch is fully nude there.
Grinch is fully nude and he doesn't wear pants. So I think this is a fairly poor attempt to make a Grinchy Bart.
I mean, is this like a Christmas card that somebody was selling as an actual product, or what is it?
Hard to know, isn't it? Really, it's on the internet.
It's pretty. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I mean, they've got the bulges on the bag. At least they could have just left the bag. At least they've attempted to sort of fill it out a bit. The snow on the roof, yeah, it's all right. I've seen worse.
A bit of detail, a little bit of detail. Yeah. I think the font's nice.
Yeah, it is actually nice choice. Yeah. Because it's kind of festive, yeah. It's like the Coca-Cola font, yeah.
If you don't look too closely, all in all, it's a nice card. But it's not only if you do start to learn, not only does it have nudity and violence, it's also fairly poorly rendered. So let's move on to.
I will say you don't often get baggy. You don't get loose-fitted clothing in art a lot, and the Homer's Santa thing is like too big for him.
It's a bit loose. What about Bone Storm Santa? Beef, could you do the honors?
Well, this may be a reference to something that I'm not familiar with. So Bone Storm's a video game within the Simpsons universe. Yeah. So you've got like a beefcake, like a muscle, like a wrestler. He's got Santa's jacket on, again, pantsless, and he's got like two sort of ammo straps across his upper torso, and he's got a rocket launcher on his shoulder, sunglasses, clenched fist, like he's shouting Bone Storm, I guess. I mean, it's all right, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, if I saw that on a t-shirt in a shop, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't want to be associated with it. But is this looks like it could have been taken from a Simpsons episode, though. It's well constructed.
I think this is official. This is an official thing. I think the pantsless is less acceptable in this context.
You think this is less acceptable than the little boy?
Well, he's a Grinch in the other one. In this one, he's just a Santa Claus with a t-shirt kind of.
It's like a kilt, isn't it? T-shirt kind of. This is from Tapped Out, I think, because they've just really ran out of. That's a 12-year-old game now, so they've really run out of characters to introduce. So this is from. It is from The Simpsons. I think there'll have been like a glimpse of this guy in the Bone Storm video trailer that saw. So it's a stretch.
So we have no backstory on Bone Storm Santa.
No, aside from the backstory I just gave.
What about this one, Niall Balloon Manticore? Could you do the honors on this travesty?
Yeah. So there is Bart sat next to some kind of robot Santa thing on what looks to be a zebra seat in a car, maybe. That's all I've got.
It's accurate. Santa's got little buttons, like maybe he's a cash register or something, and he opens his mouth and money comes out. Nathan, you got any background on this?
Yeah, this is from the sort of non-Christmas. It's the John Waters episode, and he likes like really campy, like kitsch things. So he has this Santa that is like, I think it's Japanese, as it would be if it's kitsch and robotic in the 90s. And so it's just like a toy, basically, but it's within the realm of good Simpsons. And it does also let us show up and save the day. It probably would have been better to focus on this Santa.
Yeah, because to be honest, this is like pulling teeth.
This is straight away much better than the Santa that we got in the first story. Why didn't they just go back into their own history and bring this back and do something with this?
Yes, that's how I feel about our cousins. Our cousins feel a bit more.
Yeah, it's actually good. Robot Santa and even Bone Storm Santa definitely outperform regular Santa. So I kind of run out of Santas there, but Simpsons artist Chris, who does all those wacky Simpsons pictures, he's done a lot of Christmas stuff. So I'm going to show you some of his, and that'll probably lighten the mood a bit. Nathan, why don't you describe what you can see here?
It is Jesus and his parents in an undescribed location. She is also pantsless, presumably just having given birth to a Christ that is almost the same size as her. And Joseph, the stepdad, is saying, Jesus Christ, he is massive. And Mary is saying he is so large. It's beautiful. They've all got very tiny Reeves and Mortimer eyes.
Look at the fingers.
I think Jesus has 6 fingers. I think look how many fingers Joseph has.
Like 10 fingers. Brilliant.
She's wearing heels.
She is also wearing red heels. She's dressed like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Beef, are you familiar with Simpsons artist Chris?
I'm not. No, sorry. No, I should have bummed up on this, really.
No.
But straight away, he's outperformed The Simpsons in terms of, chuckles per minute. Yeah.
Chuckles, isn't it?
Yeah.
He did start off on a Simpsons trajectory, much like us, didn't he? And now it's just anything.
Well, what about this one? Natalie, can you describe what you can see here?
No. Is it a mouse? It looks like a hairless mouse that has a set of mouse ears and human ears. It has a bauble as like an earring and a bow on its rat tail. It has hands and feet, and it is blowing one of those. What are those things called? Party? What are they called then?
What are they called? I know what you mean, but I don't know what they're called.
No, I don't. Well, one of them and it's saying toot.
One of
They
them,
call it
innit?
Scream.
Mine do. Party screamer. Last one here. Christmas parenting trip. Hide some bones inside your children's snowman to give them a magical Christmas surprise when it melts. Why is this happening? Says the child as he picks out bones from his snowman. I told you he was real. What's this? Is this changing your perception of what Christmas can be?
Well, I mean, straight away, they look like a femur, like a human bone. Where would you get those?
Where would you get those?
Again, realism. That's all I asked for. Realism and consistency. And I'm not sure you'd be able to lay your hands on that number of human bones. Yeah, but that being said, maybe you could use chicken bones. Yeah. Once again, funnier than The Simpsons.
I think if you were one of these children, if this was you and me, I'd be saying, I told you he was real, and you'd be saying, he wouldn't have this many femurs.
My analytical brain, sorry. I should learn to, relax at Christmas.
No,
because you shouldn't take everything so literally. Yeah.
I think it's all good.
The Claus cast will continue after a special holiday message from a friend of the Springfield cast.
Nathan, I'm Brendan. Even though I am lost on this island, I see polar bears singing jingle bells everywhere, and I've not seen either of you since I was kidnapped. I still want to wish you a fairly mediocre Christmas, and I hope one day we can meet on Twitch, and I can beat you at Double Dragon. Love, bye.
We now return to our regularly scheduled Doris.
So I got a little story here that we can tag team to round us out in the 8 minutes before this Zoom call kicks us off. So Beef, you okay? Pub lunch doesn't start for another 20 minutes, or
I've got a pub lunch at 2 actually. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well,
hour later than last time.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 paragraphs, which is good, so I don't have to ask anyone to repeat one. Why don't we start in alphabetical order? So Natalie Blue Manticore goes first.
It was a peculiar Christmas Eve in the Salt Circle. The demons were kept at bay thanks to the efforts of the Guardians. Flimsy, a shape-shifting elf, danced on the perimeter of the circle, her movements hypnotising the demons and keeping them at bay. Rosewater, a mermaid with a voice of gold, sang carols that were infused with magic, strengthening the circle's defences. Beef, a minotaur with the strength of 10 men, stood guard, his hooves shaking the ground and intimidating the demons. Blue Manticore, a hybrid creature with the body of a lion and the wings of a hot air balloon, flew above the circle, keeping watch from above.
And both of them, there were 2 Blue Manticores, of course, up there, circling.
Darren Spider, a reformed demon hunter, had laid down his arms for the winter, choosing to celebrate the holiday in peace. Barry the Vase, a flowy human hybrid with the power of telekinesis, had declared an extreme holiday on counter-terrorism, ensuring that the group could celebrate without fear of attack.
Beautiful. King KB and his mice, all dressed in their finest royal attire, were feasting once again on suckling pigs, a tradition that had become a staple of their holiday celebrations. HAMM, a ghost with the love of books, an organisation, was busy sorting all the words in its library into alphabetical order.
As the group enjoyed the festivities, Derrida, a wise old dragon, flew in on quadrupeds, looking for his son.
To love wisdom as to live according to its dictates. To love wisdom as to live according to its dictates. A life of simplicity, independence, magnanimity and trust. Christmas is a time for love, compassion and forgiveness.
Derrida was proclaimed as he landed in the circle.
It is a time for us to come together and celebrate the magic
of the season. The group welcomed him warmly, happy to have him join in the celebration.
As the night wore on, the Guardians continued to keep watch, ensuring that the demons stayed at bay and the Salt Circle remained protected. It was a joyous Christmas Eve, filled with love, magic, and the unusual creatures that the Salt Circle called the Salt Circle home.
Well, thank you for coming along. I'm sorry it was such a horrifically bad series of clips. I'll be firing myself and Nathan later. Hopefully you can join us, Beef, and the Blue Manticores for an episode in the future based on clips that you are passionate about.
80% more comedy.
Beef, you've got the one about the barfly chap. What's his name?
Sam the Barfly. Yeah, that was quite an ambitious selection because I have been looking, and there's not much. I found some fan fiction that you might be interested in.
I am interested.
Quite dark, a little bit adult, but yeah. Yeah.
After dark.
But other than that, yeah. So we'll down the line. Yeah,
down the line. We'll
looking
do that.
forward to that one. Yeah.
And the Blue Manticores, you can come along and show us your favourite Who are your favourite Simpson characters over
there? I don't know. Marge.
Brilliant. All right, well, have a nice Christmas, everyone.
Ho, ho, home. Happy holidays, everyone. And make sure all your salt circles remain intact. Your friend, Parn Sunblaze. Merry Christmas.
Pants, it's me, Jess, your best friend. The salt circle is not intact. I repeat, not intact.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.